A British woman working at a foreign language training school in Dalian, Liaoning, was owed 130,000 yuan in unpaid wages. Despite winning a lawsuit, the company still refused to pay her. Even after applying for compulsory enforcement, there was no response from the company. After posting for help, she was also threatened with a lawyer's letter from the school. This case has sparked widespread attention and calls for better protection of foreign teachers' rights. What exactly happened here? Let's discuss the issue of foreign teachers being deceived when coming to China. On February 22nd, Ellie posted on the social media platform Xiaohongshu saying, "I've been scammed in China. Can anyone help me? I really don't know what to do. My former company owes me wages, and when I asked for my wages, they fired me illegally. I fought this myself in China, winning the first and second rounds of arbitration, but the company still hasn't paid me. I've applied for enforcement, but they're not responding. Yesterday, I went with the police to their office to find them. I was worried they would accuse me of disturbing the peace, so I didn't go alone, but when we got there, they may have seen us and ran away. The school is still running with many students, and they've even renovated the place." Ellie also said, "Why are people so bad? I really don't understand. I worked there for 8 months without receiving a regular paycheck. I was very dedicated to teaching, and it was good to both the children's parents and the school. Yet this is how they treat me. I'm really upset. It's been over a year, and they still haven't given me the wages I worked so hard for." The post quickly went viral on Xiaohongshu, with many Chinese users expressing sympathy for Ellie and commenting, "How did you survive without getting paid for so long? That's terrible. I thought foreigners wouldn't get their wages withheld, but it seems they're the same as us." Foreigners are also experiencing Xi Jinping's rule of law. Chinese people live under this kind of oppression every day. Other foreigners shared similar experiences. One user said, "I saw your post about being owed wages again. My partner is also British. He was owed wages by his previous school, then switched to another one, and now he's facing the same issue." As China's education market globalizes, the foreign teacher population has grown. However, since Xi Jinping's leadership began, the government has suppressed the education and training industry. Combined with an economic downturn and reduced consumer spending, this sector faces significant challenges. Wage delays for foreign teachers are increasingly common. Last summer, a foreigner's protest banner stating, "Heartless companies owe me 5 months' wages," gained attention online. Reportedly, an education institution withheld the workers' pay. Social media users noted that even foreigners face exploitation, reflecting the tough economic climate. A company's failure to pay wages for months often indicates financial trouble, and options like negotiation or labor complaints rarely work, prompting public protests to raise awareness. The pandemic has deepened China's economic woes, causing widespread business failures and wage disputes. Foreign workers, hindered by language, cultural, and legal barriers, struggle to secure their rights. Public responses to these incidents reveal a strong demand for fairness, rejecting unequal treatment based on identity. Additionally, some foreigners are deceived by recruiters promising lucrative roles like English teachers or corporate managers. Upon arrival, they discover the jobs or companies don't exist, or conditions differ sharply from what was promised. For instance, one teacher from the US shared online how he was recruited by a so-called Dalian international school with a promised annual salary of 200,000 US dollars. Upon arrival, he discovered it was a small training center with a monthly salary of only a few thousand yuan. He also had to pay for his visa, and eventually, the training center went under, the boss ran off, and he was left with unpaid wages and no way to file a complaint. Even worse, many foreigners who seek jobs through illegal middlemen are asked to pay high service fees or visa fees up front, only for the recruiters to take the money and disappear. Recently, a British teacher posted a complaint on Hello Talk, a language exchange app, saying he was scammed out of 30,000 yuan in China. He was promised a work visa, but in the end, the person disappeared and there was no job. Desperate, he reported it to the police, but they couldn't help him recover the money. He concluded, "Chinese police don't take action. China's public security is a joke, and China is no different from Laos or Cambodia." Another case involving a foreigner's wage dispute has also gained attention in Beijing. Mark joined a tech company in Beijing as a director in 2017 with an agreed monthly salary of over 60,000 yuan and a year-end bonus. Later, when the pandemic hit, the company faced severe financial problems and started to withhold his wages for 3 months, along with 2 years of year-end bonuses. In 2022, Mark ended his employment with the company and decided to demand the unpaid wages and bonuses. When he was unsuccessful, Mark reported the company online, causing a lot of public attention. Afterward, Mark took the issue to the trade union in Beijing's Chaoyang district. With the union's strong involvement, the company agreed to pay the overdue wages, but refused to pay the year-end bonus. The company argued that Mark had voluntarily resigned and shouldn't be entitled to severance pay, and since the company had collapsed, they couldn't pay the bonus. After further intervention from the union, Mark received a total of 470,000 yuan for both his overdue wages and bonuses. The union treated this case as a model for promoting international friendship and posted a report about it online on June 5, 2023. However, the report quickly went viral for all the wrong reasons, with many criticizing the union. The article was soon deleted. It said the original post concluded with a message: "When our wages are withheld, we could go through the union to make an electronic complaint and get our fair rights." After the post was published, the union probably expected applause, but instead, they were met with a flood of insults. People online sarcastically questioned why the union doesn't help local workers get paid and what the union's role is. My understanding is that this so-called union is one set up by foreigners in China. I've never seen a union in the news fighting for regular workers' wages. There are billions of workers in the country. How is this normal? Don't blame the unions for being questioned. Ask yourself, what have unions done for us workers? Have they fought for our rights? We have every right to be angry, especially with this double standard for foreigners. It's the union's inaction that's led to more and more cases of harm in recent years because of wage disputes. Some argue that China offers no effective ways for workers to address grievances. Without an independent judiciary, unions, or NGOs, most of which have been expelled, workers resort to extreme measures to demand wages. Many violent incidents in recent years stem from the lack of fair channels to resolve social injustices. Foreigners in China are frequent scam targets for various reasons. Examining real cases can help them grasp how scams operate, enabling them to stay cautious and avoid financial losses. For instance, a British tourist in Beijing was approached by a young woman claiming to be a student eager to practice English. She led him to a tea house where, after a few cups of tea, he faced a 2,000 yuan bill, well above normal rates. The woman and tea house staff were evidently working together to defraud him. Especially in situations like transactions, renting, or investing, foreigners in China are more likely to be scammed. Hans, a German teacher working in Chengdu, contacted the landlord through an English-language rental website. The so-called landlord claimed to urgently need to rent out an apartment in the city center because of an overseas trip. Hans liked the photos of the apartment and paid 12,000 yuan for 2 months' rent and a deposit via WeChat. However, when he showed up on the agreed date, the landlord was unreachable, and even the phone number and address turned out to be fake. Another example involves the variety of telecom scams in China. Not only foreigners, but even Chinese people are often caught off guard. An American living in Shanghai received a call from someone claiming to be from China's immigration department, saying there was an issue with his visa and that he had to pay a fine immediately to avoid being deported. Since he was new to China and unfamiliar with the process, he panic-strickenly transferred several thousand yuan, only to later realize it was a scam. These cases point to one common issue: foreigners being unfamiliar with China's way of doing things, such as mobile phone payments, contract terms, or police reporting procedures, are more likely to be at a disadvantage in transactions and scams. A German woman shared her experience of being scammed on Xiaohongshu in Chinese, which caught the attention of many people online.
Hey guys, I feel like I've been really unlucky lately. Like everything's going wrong. I was planning to start my own business and open my own store, but recently I don't know what's going on. I keep getting scammed. Here's the deal. The store doesn't have air conditioning, so we needed to install 3 units ourselves. I thought I would save a bit of money and bought the air conditioners on Goofish, spending 4,200 yuan in total. They asked for offline payment, so I paid in cash. I guess I'm just a fool. Then the funniest part came. The air conditioners didn't cool at all and they leaked water. My partner tried to talk to the sellers, but they just blocked us. So we called the police and we spent 3 hours at the station yesterday, but it didn't help. We hired a third party to check if the air conditioners could be fixed and whether they would work at all. The brand we bought is Gree, but the guy said it's not Gree, it's fake. Do you understand? I just want to know, why do so many people want to scam foreigners? The police didn't help, complaints didn't help, calls didn't help, nothing worked. I just want to make a little money and start my own business in China. Why is it so hard? Why does it feel like everyone I meet lately just wants to scam me and take my money? Is my money just blowing in the wind?
有的时候我在长沙
Sometimes when I'm in Changsha, people call me and say, "Hey, black brother, you have a performance in Shanghai tomorrow. Buy your own plane ticket and I'll pay you when you get here. Don't worry, just come and I'll pay you once you arrive." So I buy the plane ticket myself, book a hotel in Shanghai, and when I get there, after the performance, the person just disappears. They don't pay me. Think about how hard that is. I pay for my own round-trip ticket from Changsha to Shanghai, which costs over 1,000 yuan, and I booked a hotel. Then after the performance, I try to get the money, and the person's gone, can't reach them, can't get a hold of them. And this has happened more than once in Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Beijing. Sometimes you agree on a price with the owner, like 20,000 yuan for 2 days of performance, but after the performance, they give you only 800 yuan and tell you to leave. I have no choice but to leave. It's tough. This is a story from an African rapper who shares his painful experience of being scammed in China. Through Chinese rap on social media, he became well known and gained over 1 million followers on a short video platform. In China's telecom fraud cases, scammers often hide abroad and use telecom networks to target people in China. This type of scam is known as a pig butchering scam. The process is compared to raising and then slaughtering pigs. Now, the pig butchering scam has evolved into the foreign pig butchering scam, or sheep shearing scam. This means scammers have started targeting foreigners. They pretend to be a beautiful woman, use translation apps to chat and befriend foreigners on social media, gaining their trust before scamming them out of their money. Scammers believe that foreigners will have difficulty reporting to the police or recovering their losses due to the language, geographic, or legal barriers. On August 9, 2024, police in Xiangyang, Hubei province successfully busted a cross-border fraud case and arrested 5 suspects. The gang set up a cryptocurrency investment platform and pretended to be beautiful women to scam foreigners. When questioned about why they targeted foreigners, the suspects responded, "We don't scam Chinese people." Police seized $20,000 in fraud funds, with transactions amounting to $500,000. The 5 suspects are currently in detention. Although this scam is quite low level, scammers often cast a wide net, as some people inevitably fall victim. Let's look at another case on Guangxi.
诈骗的话也要看你骗哪种人。
When it comes to scams, it depends on who you're scamming. I don't scam other Chinese people because it's tough for all of us. We're all struggling. The man in the video is Lu Xin, who organized a group to conduct cross-border internet fraud, specifically targeting foreigners. On September 2, 2022, police in Yao Autonomous County, Guangxi, arrested 6 suspects after studying their habits. The group locked their company door upon arrival, but an officer disguised as a delivery person tricked them into opening it. During the arrest, the suspects were caught scamming foreigners into investing via chat apps, which remained open. 3 months later, the police transferred the case to the prosecutor's office, charging the group with fraud. Liu Xin admitted to forming the scam group through job websites. They targeted victims using software, then built trust through chats. Despite none of the scammers speaking foreign languages, they relied on translation apps. Employees asked victims about their families, jobs, and finances, abandoning those who seemed financially strained. Liu Xin stated that during these conversations, employees would ask about the victim's family, job, industry, and other personal details. They would also touch on sensitive topics like salary and investment methods, encouraging those who seemed to be struggling to give up. The group's only female member, Miss Hu, a college student, posed as a wealthy woman. She posted edited photos and videos on dating platforms to attract foreign single men. After initial contact, other employees continued the chats, refusing video calls until Miss Hu was available to build trust. They then pitched fake investment projects, and Liu Xin provided a sham cryptocurrency website. Funds received were laundered, with Liu Xin confessing to a total of $29,000 scammed, though the exact amount couldn't be verified due to the victims being overseas. Liu Xin was sentenced to 5 years in prison and fined 20,000 yuan for fraud. Ms. Hu received 3 years and a 10,000 yuan fine, while the other 4 members got 1 to 4 years. Recently, more foreigners in China have faced scams, pointing to weaknesses in labor protection and law enforcement. The case of Ellie, a British teacher owed 130,000 yuan in wages, is one example. Fraudulent agencies and investment schemes are increasingly common, reflecting systemic issues. Foreigners should weigh these risks carefully before pursuing opportunities in China, as hidden dangers often outweigh the apparent prospects.